It's up for grabs now!
Magic ball from Bergkamp to Patrick Vieira!
Oh, would you believe it? Oh, right, what a way to get it!
Fabulous solo goal by Thierry Henry.
What? You're doing this, not me.
Am I doing this?
Yeah, this is your show, bro.
It's my show. Fucking
Yeah,
hell,
man.
you put me right into this one.
That's
Hi,
right.
everybody. I hope you guys well. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching us at the Arsenal Lounge. Apologies for the delay. It was just a bit of a mix-up. Lev thought it would be a good idea to do a show, discuss things, and then I'm hosting it, so forgive me. I'm a bit caught off guard here. I thought Lev was doing this thing. How are you doing, Lev? All right?
You thought I was doing this, yeah?
Yeah, I thought you texted me, said let's do a show. I thought you got things ready. Yeah. What's happening? You good?
No, I'm good, bro. I'm good. I've missed you, man. I've missed you. I've missed doing these little private ones. Yeah. I didn't know if people would be watching it or not, but like, you know what? Let's just do it, innit? I just thought, listen, the thing is, on the last show, obviously I really enjoyed it with Mo and Lee, but like, yeah, we had a lot going on. We were discussing a lot, and I don't feel like we touched on the upcoming fixtures in October, which is going to be a pivotal run. I don't think we really discussed enough like the North London derby in regards to, some of these players that have come in, like your Tierneys of this world, and a few others as well. Vieira, another one. I mean, what if these other players are fit? Like Zinchenko's fit and Odegaard's fit. What are we doing then? And also, this news with Talkshite. I'm going to call them Talkshite because they really put like a dampener on the young. Yeah, did you not see what they did to in regards to Nwari's debut? They were basically saying that it was Arteta, just sort of feeding his own ego. So there was quite a few things.
Do you know what? To be honest with you, bro, and I'm not just saying this I genuinely don't listen to TalkSport.
I don't listen.
I don't even know who's on it. I know what's that bird's name? She's an Arsenal fan as well. Laura Woods.
Laura Woods. That bird's name, is that what you call her? Laura Woods.
I know she's there, and Jim White. That's it.
Well,
and I already know that they're there. I actually like Laura Woods. I think she's really good. But apart from that, I don't listen to them. I don't pay attention to what they say. Nothing. It's just a radio station. That's all. That this Jason, is it Kundi or Conti? Which one?
Oi, you can't. Oi, it's like literally 2 in the afternoon, like 20 past 2. You don't know You can't be doing that, man.
Yeah, I don't even, bro. I don't even remember him as a player. So
Danny Murphy, you got Danny Murphy doing it. You got Adon Lahore, Simon Jordan. Guys.
I don't even know what. I don't know what's been said. I don't pay attention to them.
It's good to know you get all this information for content. Like you don't pay attention to no one. Do you even watch games? Do you even watch games?
No, I do watch games, but if I don't listen to TalkSport, so what? It doesn't mean anything. And people who get wound up and this, that, the other, I see people losing their shit on Twitter. Don't listen to them. Simple. Jason Cundy or Danny Murphy or these guys, they're not. When it comes to pundits, they're not like your top level pundits, or they're not cream of their crop. If
you're not like us, you know what I mean?
Exactly. So don't listen to them. Just move on.
All right. Well, this guy's nice to know you've just trivialized one of the subject matters. But look,
but we can listen. We can talk about it, right? If Jason Cundy comes out with something, you need to look at the guys. If, for example, if Patrick Vieira, Thierry Henry, Steven Gerrard, Lampard, these guys, they come out and say something, I'll take a notice. But Jason Cundy, what was his playing career like?
Well, it doesn't mean that he played for Chelsea and he played for them lot down the road. So
I think he played for Tottenham and Chelsea. I think
the name you gave him was quite quite spot on. The only thing I ever remember Jason Cundy for was he went in for some sort of a tackle, slid in, hit the ball really hard near the halfway line, and the ball went in. He
I
chipped the
don't even.
goalie by accident.
I don't
Total
even
freak
remember that.
goal. Yeah. Anyway, so look, I mean, what we just sort of killing a bit of time until people come into the chat. But look, I mean, the first thing we were going to discuss were the run-ins we got in October, because the one thing that's come from all of the comments in you know on some of our shows and recently when I look at the comments after the shows as well, a lot of people were worried about that October period, and we feel that our squad is very, very thin on the ground at the moment, and
Yeah.
obviously going to be tested, you know, in this October period. So I thought we'd bring up sort of fixtures that we have.
Do you want me to go through them?
Yeah, if you don't mind. So,
Yeah. So from we've got
guys,
obviously
London
Tottenham.
Derby. Yeah,
So we've got 1st of October, we've got Tottenham at
yeah.
home. 9th of October, we've got Liverpool at home.
So that's a nice 6-7 day break there before.
No, it's not, because you're talking
Oh,
about everything.
we got the
Premier League.
Europa. Oh, we got Europa in between that.
Yeah. Are you talking about everything or just
No,
the Premier League?
everything, because obviously
Right. So
our
basically,
squad's got
1st
to
of
be able to
October.
adapt.
Yeah, 1st of October, you've got Tottenham at home. 6th of October, you've got
Boldo Glimt, or something like that. I don't know who they are.
I'm not going to even attempt pronouncing that. So we've got a
Please
Europa
do.
League fixture.
Yeah.
And then 3 days later, you've got Liverpool at home. And then on the 13th, you've got the same team, but away fixture.
Yeah.
And then on the 16th, you got Leeds away. And we would have had Man City, but that has been postponed. On the 20th of October, you got PSV at home. 23rd, you've got Southampton at home.
Boy.
And then on the 27th of October, you got PSV away. 30th of October, Forest at home.
Wait. Stop in October, yeah, because I'm on the Arsenal website. So some of these fixtures have been added since, because you mentioned a Southampton fixture for when?
23rd of October.
Right, and we're playing PSV at home on the 20th. So that's 3 days.
So basically, every 3 or 4 days, we've got a game in October. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games in October, and we had Man City was postponed.
Yeah, and also you've had the Everton game that's been postponed as well. That's got to be fitted in somewhere. I don't know how they can do that. That's not even been announced. And I know that because I got tickets for my son, courtesy of Mo, for his birthday, and it got cancelled.
It's the same thing in November as well, Lev. You got 3rd of November, FC Zurich at home. 6th of November, Chelsea away. 9th of November, Brighton at home, which is an EFL Cup. And then you got 12th of November, Wolves away. And that is it.
Do you know what?
And then we go for World Cup. So until we actually break, every 3 or 4 days, there's an Arsenal game.
Yeah, that's going to really test our squad, because, look, we need everyone back fit. I mean, Odegaard's been out. We need Smith Rowe back. We could really do with Smith Rowe back for Europa games. We need Tommy Asu. I mean, Tommy Asu's fit, isn't he? But he's not maybe match fit, and he'll probably get away with Europas for now to get himself match fit. We've got likes of Marquinhos, Vieira's in now, so hopefully if we can get those guys back, I don't know. Holding might be used in some of those Europa games, maybe with White as centre back.
I think you've got Cedric as well.
Yeah, you got Cedric.
If Cedric plays at right back, maybe you can utilize Tomiyasu in the middle. It's difficult, man. It's difficult because our injury record is not the greatest. All you need is Thomas Partey to get injured.
Yeah.
It's going to be a problem. Or, Jesus will pick up one more yellow card and then you will miss a game. So we're stuck with Eddie Nketiah. So it's going to be It's going to be challenging, but then again, these are all the challenges that arises in a season, and we just have to deal with it.
Well, the
If we
crucial
had-
games.
if we signed a couple of more players in the transfer window, it would have helped.
The crucial 2 games, firstly, Tottenham and Liverpool. Like we got to get. I mean, expecting us to get 6 points from those games might be a tough ask. What would you be happy with out of those 2 games, points?
Well, they're both at home.
Mm-hmm.
I expect us to beat Tottenham at home.
Yeah.
And I've got to be honest with you, Lev. Liverpool is not the Liverpool of last season.
They're not, are they? They're not.
No, they're not. So
would we be out of? Would we be sort of overthinking it, expecting 6 points?
Look, if you go based on form, we should be beating both of them.
Yeah, but based on form, we should have beaten United.
Based on form, right? You can never count for like
Wait, is Canton gonna have a missus by the end of this flipping honeymoon?
Yeah,
I mean, look at him. The other day, he was tweeting about a snake going through his room. He's in Mauritius at the moment. How you doing, bro? I hope you're really enjoying it out there. On a serious note, yeah.
Our regards to you and obviously the missus. All the best. But I was saying, Liverpool. Look, if we get the tactics right and the team selection, and nobody makes silly mistakes, individual mistakes, right? I think it's fair to say 6 points from those 2 games.
You expect 6 points?
Yeah.
Look, if Tottenham come out with 6 points,
Tottenham can be got at, right? Same with Liverpool. North London derby, I've always said, form goes out of the window. It's at home. Regardless of what form we're in, I expect us to beat Tottenham. We're in an excellent bit of form. Tottenham are in good form as well, but we can sort this out. Liverpool as well. Liverpool is not the same Liverpool as last season.
No, it's not, but they might at some point hit form. But I agree with you. They are not the same team, and we can get at them. If we can get 6 points out of those 2 games, I would be tremendously happy. Look, the fact of the matter is, it seems to me, in a weird way, the international break probably can't come soon enough. Like the World Cup can't come soon enough, because maybe
you got more fixture congestion after that again.
Yeah, we will. But it might give us some time. Yeah, we might be able to go to the window and get a couple more in January, though. That's a question as well. We could go down as well. I'll ask in the chat
the next
later
fixture,
on.
Look, we've got Wolves away. The next fixture is on Boxing Day, 26th of December. And then 26th, 31st, 2nd, 14th, 20th. And then obviously Europa League will come into that after that as well. But yeah, you got January window that you can... It depends on where we are. If we're still there or thereabouts, comes January, it will be criminal for them not. It's going to be exactly the same as last year, where they got rid of Aubameyang. They didn't replace him. Had they replaced Aubameyang with a striker, we could have got top 4. So it's going to be, again, similar sort of situation where if we're there or thereabouts comes January, they've got to go out there and get a couple of players.
I'm just looking at some of the things that are being said in the chat. I'm not ignoring you. But Dave Jordan, he's come at you with, don't think Eddie will ever get the credit from Shahin, sadly. Hold that thought, Shahin, before you answer that. Robots will eat. No one's actually said anything bad about me. Thanks, guys. The robots will eat you, says Tom. Get on there and provide some balance to Shahin, please.
Well, can I just address
do you know what? You could tell Shahin's back. And I think this is probably aimed at you as well, or maybe at both of us. Time to admit, Dave Jordan says, Xhaka is better than Basuma. I think they play 2 different types of roles. Basuma is more of a DM.
In terms of Granit Xhaka, I've always said there's a player in Granit Xhaka. I've never been one of those that says, you know what, drop him. He needs to be sold. Because if you look at last season and this season so far, Granit Xhaka has been one of our better players.
Yeah,
There's been odd moments, but he has been one of our better players. And all these people who are on Granit Xhaka's case, if he gets injured tomorrow, they're all going to be like, oh, we miss Xhaka. We miss Granit Xhaka. Oh, we miss Granit. And I was really, listen, it was really nice to see that at the end of Brentford game, he went to the fans, they were chanting his name and so and so. You know, at the end of the day, he's an Arsenal player.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we need to support the player that wears the shirt and the badge. You know, we can't be like, you know what, doesn't matter what Granit Xhaka does, he's shit. And doesn't matter what, for example, Odegaard does, he's the best thing that has ever happened to Arsenal.
Not according to you.
No, there needs to be balance. Good needs to be said, bad needs to be said as well. And there are some people that I've detected this in social media, especially YouTube. You know, if you read some of the comments, some people, they just come and say exactly the opposite of what you're saying just for the sake of it. There is no substance to the argument. They just come and say, Shahin, football knowledge is shit. Oh, all right. Well, who are you to say my football knowledge is shit? One, to start with. Two, is instead of writing that, write a proper argument or write reasoning as to why you disagree with X, Y, Z that I've said. For example, I'll give you an example. Wayne is I've seen him on the comments.
Wait, careful with Wayne, yeah?
No. I'm just going to say, me and Wayne probably disagree on 95% of things that we say. Yeah, but he never comes and says, Shahin, you don't know nothing about football. You're this, you're that, the other. He comes up with an argument as to why he thinks I'm wrong and he's right. Right?
Do you know what?
But
I do think that sometimes these guys just wind you up because
well,
it's a term of endearment. I think sometimes they like to see you like react because they know you're gonna, and it's because they love. I think it's because they really like you.
No, it's just I don't understand people who come at you with no arguments.
No, yeah,
you understand? Like if it's me, they're telling you, Lev, you don't know shit about football. All right, based on what you're saying, that's it. The conversation ends there. There's nothing else.
Well, I'll tell you this, right? I'm going to give myself a pat on the back a couple of times because I went and watched a couple of old shows like last night. And I'll have to say this. When I was saying to people on the panel as well, that if Saliba was to come and we didn't put him out, when he comes back, I said he'd be starting ahead of both White and Holding. And a couple of guys on the panel actually turned around and said, no, we will, we'll have to he'll be bedded in first and he'll play his way in. Well, hello, man started pre-season and he hasn't come out of centre-back position since. Right? That's one thing. I'm going to say, do you know what I'm going to predict as well? I reckon Basuma will start against us.
No, I don't think so.
I think he will. No, I'm not putting myself out there for this one, but I just have this feeling that they're going to be a bit shook with Partey in that midfield, and they're going to try and go physical against him and maybe put Basuma in against us. I don't know, but like
Højbjerg got up against him.
What Højbjerg against Partey?
No.
Not if Partey's having a good game. He's got no chance.
No. I understand he's not a match, but to cause a nuisance, he will. But I see. Let me just finish on the topic that I was saying.
Were you still moaning? Sorry, I was bigging myself.
I see some people addressing this. It's tough love, this, that. Like Dave, for example, says, one thing I like about it, even though you missed the negative. I'm not negative, Dave. If I see something that I don't like, I say it. It doesn't make me negative. I gave praise to Arteta for the Man United game, for the Brentford game. I praise when praise is due, and I criticize when criticize is due. If I see something and I don't like it, if I'm moaning about the substitution that he made, 3 substitutions in the same time in that game, it doesn't mean I'm negative. It's just I don't like it. It's something that I've seen and I'm talking about it and I don't like it. It's the same thing with you, Dave. If you see something that you're calling out and you don't like about Arsenal, whatever it is, I can't then come and call you Mr. Negative because it's just your opinion.
Yeah, but he did say something nice as well, though. He says you don't have a massive ego like some other negativity merchant. So it's a kind of like a backhanded compliment there.
It makes
You're
it very hard for me to have a go at Dave, basically.
Yeah, I know, but he still called you a negativity merchant. And as for robots will eat you, he's called me Lev Agbon Lahore. Do I look like a potato? But look what he said. To be fair, Tomiyasu being injured is why Saliba came straight in. Don't matter why he came straight in. He came straight in and he hasn't come out. And there you go. It is what it is. But look, fixtures are going to be an issue. I am a bit worried about this run-in. If we could still be at the top by... Do you reckon, is there any chance we could still be at the top by the time World Cup starts?
I'll tell you in a sec. Right.
Oh, should we run through points? How many?
Yeah.
Let's do. It's a shame we can't get it up on the
Guys,
screen.
can we let's do this together, right?
We get
Tom
up
is
on the
watching
screen
as well. Tom, I know you're watching, so you might as well give us your thought as well, and everybody that is in the comments. So Tottenham, I'll say 3 points.
Can't we get the fixtures up on the screen?
No.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. So Tottenham game. Let us know points.
No, just win or lose or draw.
Yeah,
point-wise, you know?
Yeah, points-wise. That's what we're saying. So the Tottenham game, let us know in the chats as well.
I'll say a win. What would you say?
I'm definitely saying win.
All right. And then you got Liverpool at home. I'll take a draw on this one right now, to be honest with you. Would you? What about you guys? What would you take the Liverpool game?
It's going to be really crucial to see how we perform in that game because we need to beat one of these big boys. I mean, we've done it before with Chelsea, etc., but I want us to start seeing it more consistent. I'm going to say draw as well. That'll give us 4 points.
If somebody offers me a draw against Liverpool right now, I'll take it.
And you said that's at home, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Hold on, guys. I just want to see, guys, what are you saying on the chat? Tottenham, I think we all agree is a 3 point we're expecting, but Liverpool at home. Well, this one is interesting.
He's done the opposite way around. Well, it's possible because it's a London derby. Anything can happen. By the way, London derby, guys, yeah, if you remember last season, we had Irish Hotspur on, yeah, and we were giving it Billy Big Bollocks to each other, and he come out victorious because they beat us at their ground. We will be doing a show next week for North London Derby with Irish Gooner. We're doing one on his channel, and he'll be doing one on ours, so keep an eye out for that. All right, next one.
So Liverpool, we said a draw, yeah?
Yeah.
And then you got Leeds away.
I'll say 3 points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Man City is postponed, so we're not going to talk about that.
We can take their time about that one.
Yeah, I think this will be after World Cup. You got Southampton away. I'll say 3 points. I expect 3 points.
Who against? Wolves.
Southampton away.
Yeah. I expect that too.
Forest at home. 3 points.
3 points. Are you tallying these all up, by the way? Are you counting them all up?
Are you?
Why?
Because I'm on a different screen. I'm reading it.
You're the guy with the numbers.
No.
Jeez. No, we're so like, okay, so we got 3 plus 1 plus, what was the other ones?
So Tottenham 3-1, 3-3. So Leeds away, we said win. Southampton away, win.
So far 13 points.
Nottingham Forest at home is a win. So that will sort your October out. Going to November, you start with Chelsea away.
Ooh.
I'll take a draw there as well. Right? I don't know. It depends how they start playing under Graham Potter.
It's going to take a while for them to get used
to
his ways, and they weren't that great in the Champions League the other day. They
weren't. But let's say
draw. Let's say a draw. All right.
Yeah. And then you've got Wolves away.
Do you know what? Robots will eat you has said something. Come on now, unbeaten until start of now is too much. Yeah, so like he's saying like we haven't predicted us losing yet. But like, let's be honest, we're not really going to predict us losing.
Hold on. Dave Jordan and the robots will eat you. Which game that we've read you think we would lose? It's all well and good coming telling us, oh, you're doing this, that, the other. But I'm asking you, what games are you predicting we will lose? That me and Lev.
rather than say
haven't.
we're not being realistic, and maybe we're not. Maybe we're not. Who knows?
What? So this robot guy is saying we're going to lose to Liverpool.
Okay. And how is that unrealistic? That's one results difference. Any others? And we'll probably lose against Liverpool. You've mentioned that one twice now. What else? Is that the only one you can come out with? We said draw. We're not being unrealistic. Maybe we don't want to bet on our guys to lose. But are you telling me it's unrealistic to have a draw at home?
What, draw at Leeds?
A
Mate,
draw.
have a turn. Have a day off, mate.
All right, so
Leeds ain't doing great right now. So if we should be beating these based on the form we're in. You guys are talking about, Arteta, this championship form. We're challenging. You can't go to Leeds away and draw if you want to challenge. You can't go to Wolves away and draw. You need to Southampton away. You need to go and beat these.
Yeah, but anyway, also what we're getting out of this is a target figure that at least will keep us in contention. So even if it is wrong either way, like, I understand Robots Will Eat You was saying we've got in between that, we've got Europa games. But as a big club, we should be dealing
teams
with
in
that.
Europa, they're not major teams. So
it's the travel, though.
You have the squad,
Yeah, but it's traveling like that bowler or whatever they're called.
Look,
they're based in Norway.
Listen, apart from Chelsea, apart from Liverpool and Tottenham, which are at home, and then Chelsea away, these are the only tough fixtures that I see. The rest are all winnable. You've got Leeds, Southampton, Wolves. You're telling me if we can't beat these, then we don't deserve to be where we are?
Well, look, putting it in the context, it is the Premier League. Anyone can lose to anyone.
Of course, but we're going based on what we've seen so far.
Yeah, and true. Right? And Diallo says Brentford slap Leeds, which is very, very true. Right? Yeah. Wolves are struggling up front. I don't think we're being that unrealistic. If we turn around and said we're beating Liverpool, we're beating Spurs, we're beating Chelsea, if we said all of this, then I'd have to probably agree with you. But it's not like we're not playing well.
Listen, Liverpool, you guys are saying this, but Liverpool is not the same team that it was last year. You've got to take this into account. You can't turn around and say, "Oh, Liverpool will beat us." They may do, right? But it's not the same Liverpool as it was last year, where they're rampant. They're just going to come from the first minute. No, they are beatable now. They're still a very good team, but beatable.
Don't expect me to say we're losing to Liverpool, or I don't want us to lose. So I guess when we say draw, it's the ones we think we might be able to lose.
Let's leave that. Let's go based on what we said so far.
Okay. All right.
So that was that. So that's it. Then we'll break for the World Cup.
What? So that was all the games?
Yeah. So this is what I'm saying. Apart from those three, the rest of them are all winnable. I know we're playing Europa League. I know there may be injuries, this and that, but we can't predict who will get injured. Maybe nobody will get injured.
What I'm worried about is Partey getting injured before.
Yeah, well, maybe they will manage him. Maybe they will not use him in Europa League, so he gets proper rest. You don't know that. Logically, that's what you do. You'd rest him for Europa League. You play El Neni. You've got Lokonga. You've got these guys that they will come in. Apart from PSV, the rest are not really teams that you would be fearful of. Right? And you get through the time. You can't be sure that someone's going to get injured.
Well, one thing we know from this October and November period, as perfectly put by is Nick, I think is it Nick X Core 74? He says next month we'll start to show off if we're really improving, beating the likes of Tottenham and Liverpool. So yeah, this is the period we're going to see what this Arsenal team is made of, right? If we can get through these tough games, the only concern is I really, really hope it's not anything down to lack of squad depth. What happens next? I hope that everyone remains fit. It could be tiredness as well creeps in, but it is really going to show us where we are at after this month and a half. I think this next month and a half. So That's rightly put. So let's see what see what happens. And we'll come back to it. But keep an eye out for that North London derby show coming up with Irish Hotspur. I owe him one for the last one, so we'll see. Dave Jordan is disagreeing with everything. I disagree, Lev. One game against Tottenham doesn't define. Who said that? Who said that? Who said
I've
one
given up.
game?
Look at this. I can't believe Shai thinks Liverpool is easy. When the fuck did I say that? Are you not listening to me?
Why are you getting aggressive?
No, because like I just said to people, like, if you want to live there better than us pound for pound, tough game mentally and physically. When did I turn around and say Liverpool are easy? We're gonna walk here. All I said is this is not the same team as it was last year. You can get at.
Okay,
That's it.
Yeah, I agree with you. They are not the same team as last year so far. Anyway, so we'll keep an eye on that. Now, the thing is, next thing I wanted to discuss. I know some people are saying, "Why were you triggered?" I weren't triggered. I just personally think TalkSport have got to a point where all they're actually doing is using the fan base for numbers and clickbait. I really do. I don't even think they're talking sense anymore. But I feel a bit sorry for the young lad involved in this because it was his debut and he was brought in 15 years of age. And, instead of being something that, he could be proud of, I feel that TalkSport, what they're actually doing at the moment is they're taking the gloss off it a little bit for the kid. Like, they're suggesting what was basically suggested was that Arteta only gave him a debut because it was all about Arteta. It was like almost like, showing off, and it was about him. So at the end of the day, I just think when examples have been shown with other debuts at young lads, I mean, Jack Wilshere's one. I think Rooney, he was age 16 when he scored against us. A few others I can't even remember off the top of my head, but there's been plenty of young kids. Now, I am convinced, having thought this through, that if it was any other team that did this, it wouldn't have even been. It wouldn't have even been a thing. They would have turned around and said, "You know what? Oh my god, this kid must be amazing. Oh, this is really great to see." But for some reason, when it comes to us, there is some sort of a media issue. There is something that makes them, whether it's they know that the fan base is easily triggered, meaning it will
That's all
gain a
there is.
lot of
Love.
attention.
You
You
just
think that's
nailed
what
it.
it is?
You just nailed it on the head, man. That's all there is. Because listen, it's all about if you got a radio station, right? For example, let's say TalkSport, for example, you need to stay relevant. Okay, in order for you to stay relevant and have traction and people talk about you, so your name is out there, you need controversy. Okay, and we're a massive club. We're probably the biggest club in London. Okay, so you always start with a big club that is going to get you traction. If they start talking about Tottenham, what sort of traction are they going to get? Or Chelsea? Maybe Chelsea a bit more than Tottenham.
Yeah, but what's stopping them getting traction by actually crediting the lad?
But that's not controversial.
It was Ethan Wanyori, wasn't it? Right?
That's
why not
that
be
is
nice
not
about it?
controversial. That's not controversial. That's just being honest. Yeah. Why is Simon Jordan getting a lot of traction and everybody knows who he is? Because he comes up with controversial things.
Yeah, but at least Simon Jordan speaks some sense in what
he
says.
Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
Right? The rest, like somebody like Jason Kundi, in order to have his name, since he said this, how much his name has been circulating around in social media? Quite a lot. Because he picks a topic that is controversial about a massive club, a biggest in London. He comes out with it. He knows the fans will bite. And that's it. He's just going to sit back. His name and TalkSport name is just getting circulated. They're getting traction. They're getting all the things that they want to see. That is it. That's all there is. If you speak to Jason Cundy, if you sit him down, deep down, and speak to him, probably that is not his view.
I get it. But then where is the point where someone says this is a young lad and it was his moment And do you want him to look in the news? All right, you're doing it for clicks, you're doing it for views and whatever it is you're doing it for. But at the bottom of all of this, at the end of all of this, is a young lad who should be looking back at this time with pride. He shouldn't be looking on the news on Twitter instead of scrolling through Twitter to see what people are saying about his debut.
Look, do you really think Talk Sport or Jason Cundy cares about the lad or what he thinks or his thoughts or his future or his career? No, it's all about them and what gets traction for them. That's all there is, man. They don't care about fans. They don't care about people or the young guy.
No, I'm just thinking like a
whatever
father.
It is to get some attraction, to get a story out. Yeah, Arsenal is a big club, massive fan base, very present rather on Twitter. Yeah, let's do that. And unfortunately, sadly, every time they do this, we bite.
Well, where does it end? Celebrations.
It ends when fans don't take notice of them anymore. Like me, don't listen. You don't agree, you don't like them, don't listen. I don't listen to them. I only came across this story because it was mentioned on Twitter. That's it.
Well, yeah, that's why I saw it. But like at the same time, look, usually I'm not even fussed what they say, but I'm thinking like a father. I guess if it was my son who'd worked really, really hard, yeah, and he's got himself a debut, and I'm proud to see him come on, and everyone's talking about it, and then some knobhead decides he's going to use it just to get some traction on his show, and totally sort of undermines it all and makes it like it was just for show. That's not fair because I listen, at the end of the day, you could say it's for his development, like to see what it's like at top level.
I understand. You're spot on and you're right. And in an ideal world, everybody should be praising the guy. But we don't live in that world anymore. We live in a world that is dominated by social media, Twitter, Instagram, people using each other to get traction, people using these platforms for their own benefits. That social media is not the real world. If Jason Cundy comes that same day or even today, comes across this boy, Mikel Arteta, and the boy's dad, you think he's going to come out with that again? He will never say this to their face. He'll probably say, oh, yeah, well done, this, that, the other.
They started blocking people as well.
There's a lot of, listen, there is a few other YouTube channels, yeah, that are not particularly Arsenal related, but I've seen them do stories, controversial stories about Arsenal, right? Because it gets them traction. They don't care about fan, club, this, that, the other. It's all about they get some attention, people come and watch them, they get some views, they get some hit. That's it. We don't live in a world that world anymore where people actually care about one another. Nobody cares about these things anymore. It's all about TalkSport, Jason Cundy. What am I going to do to get traction? What am I going to do to get hit? This is good. Let me come out with the story. Arsenal fan base is big. They're going to bite. We get some traction. We get some hit. That's it. I don't care about the boy, even Arsenal Football Club or anything like that.
I feel it was a bit sad. That's all.
It is sad because that's the state of play nowadays, but it is what it is.
Fair dues. All right. Well, I mean, let us know in the chats what you guys think. Some of you are saying, Football Terrace did hit back. I know Terry Flewers hit back at it, but again, I mean, he had good points actually. But
no, Terry Flewers is one of those guys that uses Arsenal to get traction.
Yeah, but
he comes out with controversial. No. He comes out with controversial tweets. Go back and check Terry's Twitter in transfer window. You see the amount of tweet that he does about Arsenal and Arsenal getting a player, right, is way more than any other topic. He's a Man United fan, right?
Yeah, but it's the Football Terrace though.
Yeah,
it's
but
not
he
just
tweets
about United.
more about Arsenal. Yeah, but why does he do it on Arsenal? Because he gets traction, because he gets views, because Arsenal fan base are very active on Twitter and on social media. That's why. Why then there's so many other stories going around. But he comes out. Who were we signing?
Yeah, but isn't that kind of what we do as well? Look, we're talking about the TalkSport thing.
No. We don't put out Tielemans. Here we go, Tielemans. Yeah, go check Terry's tweet about Tielemans. How many times he's tweeted Tielemans has agreed terms, but Arsenal are not willing to pay. How the fuck do you know? You don't even know. At the end, we didn't even sign Tielemans.
Yeah.
Terry's listen. He seems like a nice guy. I've never met him. I've never spoken to him. I'm not going to say I watch a lot of his shows.
Well, you're definitely not going to do anything
I'm
on
not
his show
having a go.
after this.
No, I'm not having a go at him. I'm not having a go at him.
Yeah.
Terry sees an opportunity and he uses it to his and his own channel's benefit, right? And you can't knock him for this. You can't, because he's doing what works for his channel and himself, and that's all. That's all this is all about at the end of the day.
Okay.
Right? This is all about building your own channel, getting getting hits, staying relevant to the topic, and you can't knock the guy for doing what is good for him. So all the best to Terry. I'm not calling him out. I'm not picking on him. Nothing like that at all. Right? And all the best to him and his own and his channel.
Fair
Here we
dues.
go. Wayne comes in with his customary disagreement with me. Go on, Wayne. Thank you for your super chat. Now, Shahin, I totally disagree with you about Terry. He's objective with his views on football and Arsenal. That will be another topic that we disagree on, Wayne. But thank you very much for your kind super chat, my friend.
Next thing, a positive one about one of our youngsters. Yeah?
Yeah.
That boy got voted the England Men's Player of the Year, ahead of Harry Kane, Declan Rice, and whoever else.
Yeah.
So,
rightly so, man. Rightly so. What did Harry Kane? He's not a great. He's a great player for Tottenham, not for England. And Bukayo Saka had a really good tournament.
He did.
Yeah, he kept out Sancho, Grealish. These are expensive players that there's a lot of hype around them.
Yeah.
But obviously, I think he's going to be a starter in the World Cup as well. He hasn't been great lately, but he can be solved by the time.
Do you feel he would benefit from a little rest?
Yes, 100%.
And maybe that's why we were looking for a winger. I mean, do you think he's going to get a little rest though? I mean, let's be honest. It's right now the way it is. Can we afford to drop him?
Probably not.
Because
we haven't signed anybody who would come in to replace him. Can I just say something else as well?
What are you saying? You're going at the chat today, boy.
No, I'm not. I'm just telling
Shahin
people my thoughts.
back.
If they don't agree with it, then that's fine. I lost respect for Terry when he started having Lee Gunner for representing Arsenal. First of all, you don't know if he approached other people and they said no. That's one. Two, I sometimes don't understand Lee Gunner has got a channel, right? He says his views on that channel. If you don't agree with his views, if you don't like what he's saying, how he's saying it, whatever, don't watch him. But don't go and abuse the guy. Sometimes I think it must be very difficult every day for you to get abused on your comments and people having a go at you, this and that. At the end of the day, this guy is another human being. We talk about Arsenal family and how we look at each other, look after each other. If you think Lee Gunner is a bit OTT, if you like, right? Every family has this type of person, but they still, they don't abuse him or they don't say, oh, you're not one of us, fuck off, this and that. Sometimes just try to think from other people's point of view, what he does for that guy's mental health. Yeah, he may be toxic, but that's his view. And we need to learn to respect each other's view, even if we don't agree with it. You either can reason with a guy and put your point across to him, and you either get somewhere, or you walk away. You don't listen to him, because if you think Lee Gunner is this, that, the other, and you're calling him, oh, Lee Gunner is this, he's a prick, he's that, then what are you? What does that make you that is calling him a prick? So I'm not defending Lee Gunner here, or I'm not saying, oh, this, that, the other. No, he's just another human being. That's all there is. His view is different to you, in footballing terms, and that is fine. We need to learn to understand if my view is different to somebody else. This guy is not an idiot. It's just his view is different. It could be that you're wrong, he's right.
I just think, look, with Lee Gunner, I actually agree with quite a lot of the stuff he says, but sometimes he just oversteps the mark at times for some people. You know, the weight, it's not the message, it's how he delivers it. That's it.
And
For some
that's
people,
your opinion,
it's
Lev,
not
but
right. And
that's
you
your
know,
opinion. And I know you would never start abusing a guy because your view of him is different. You think that's how you do you, but I don't agree with that. I agree with what you're saying sometimes, but that's it. And you want to carry a soul, or you want to put it across like this, that's up to you. But that's my view, right? And if you accept it, fine. If you don't, then fine, and that's it.
Okay, going back to the Saka situation, yeah?
Yeah.
Does that not speak volumes for the Hayland right now? I mean, look at our youngsters coming through. We've had a 15-year-old debutant, last week. One of our youngsters, he didn't come with the fanfare of the Sanchos and all these guys of this world that you rightly mentioned. A lot of, come with a lot of money and reputation, and he's outplayed and sort of maneuvered himself into pivotal position ahead of these guys, and it just speaks a lot about. I've actually started, and if you guys in the chat haven't watched it, I'm actually enjoying it more than the All or Nothing. I'm actually watching Haylanders on the Arsenal website. If you haven't started watching it, do so. It's like an All or Nothing, but a lot more fly on the wall kind, and a lot more in depth as to what's going on and what's being discussed and all that sort of thing. And it just shows how much goes into our youngsters, developing these youngsters, and how good they have to be to get to the levels of your Sakas and to get into the first team. So if you haven't watched it already, Shahin, do so. Haylanders, the Arsenal website.
Apparently I heard this is a good show.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Honestly, it really is, and I'm enjoying it a lot. And there's a lot of really good youngsters coming through. I think it's and what. How do you pronounce it? It's a silent N. Is it Nwari or someone else put it on there? But I mean, he's been spoken of a couple of times. Really, really good player, and a lot more to come through. So, I just think it speaks volumes. It says a lot about Arsenal's development. We sort of suffered for a little while with poor buys, and then the youngsters weren't coming through. And all of a sudden, we seem to have more of an influx of young kids coming through. I mean, even Martinelli, even though he wasn't really a Haylender, look at how young we bought him, and look at how well he's doing. And these guys did not come with big names. We go into transfer windows sometimes wanting big names, and that just proves.
I'll give it a watch. But I was not impressed at all with this All or Nothing. It didn't really show much. It didn't really say much. It wasn't great. Man City or Tottenham ones was a lot more interesting, and they went in more details. But I didn't really feel that it was.
Well, look,
details on it.
I felt for a little while after we lost Wenger, even though, I did feel like it was his time to go, we lost a little bit of the identity. And that filters down to the youngsters as well. And what I've seen now us doing at youth level and at first team level, and everyone's understanding, again, the identity and how they're supposed to be playing. So anyone from the youths can take a step up and know what's expected of them within that system. So, it's good to see. That's all I'm saying. It's very, very good to see. I know how long have you got? You got to go soon or what? I thought you wanted to be
10
done.
minutes late. I should have been gone 10 minutes ago.
All right. Well, is there any questions you guys in the chat want to chuck at us? Anything we want us to quickly cover because Shahin needs to go very soon? Let us know if there's anything specific that you wanted us to cover. We wanted to chat about the fixtures coming up. Done that. Wanted to talk about sort of the thinness of the squad. Hopefully, we could address that in the January window. We've talked about the talk shite thing. We've talked about Saka. I think, that's pretty much covered it so far. The Saka thing, being sort of the icing on the cake. I have looked to see if there's anything else worth discussing. I'll give you a minute to see if you want to ask any questions, guys. And then if not, we'll let Shahin go and moan at somebody else. But look, we've got the internationals coming up, by the way. Are you watching any of that, Shahin?
Nah, just meaningless international. If I've got nothing to do and I'm bored, yeah, I'll give it a watch. But it's not something I would plan to sit down and watch. Obviously, World Cup is around the corner, so
Yep.
yeah, that would be a lot
You're still
more
bigging up
interesting.
Iran. You still think Iran's going to beat America?
Yes, I think Iran will qualify along with England.
Wait, are we going to do World Cup show? Saliba started yesterday, didn't he? Yeah, he did.
Saliba is really good, man. I'm really impressed with him.
Did he start yesterday? Could anyone confirm?
Yeah,
I
he
didn't
did.
watch it. Yeah,
He did. Yeah,
mate. Look at that 2-0 win. I think looking at the way Deschamps welcomed him into the camp, I think I reckon he's starting in the World Cup as well.
yeah. Can I just put something on that Dave has put down on the show? Shout out Iran, see them protesting for their freedom.
Ooh, I don't know anything about.
Yeah, if you guys don't know, there's been some issues and unrest in Iran where women are protesting against wearing the headscarf, hijab. Yeah, so there's been some. It all happened because sadly, this young lady lost her life in custody, and I was watching the comedian Omid Jalili. He put out an Instagram feed, and he said,
"Is he Iranian, Omid Jalili?
Yeah,
I didn't know that."
Yeah, and he said this is Iran's George Floyd moment, which was true. So this is what has been happening in Iran, and there's my fellow Iranians in Iran. They're not being heard because we're not Ukraine. We're not a popular country. If it was Ukraine, everybody would be running, doing campaigns, raising money, raising awareness. But because it's Iran, nobody cares and people don't know about it. So I will leave it at that. And
I'll have to do some reading into that. Is it quite bad out there then?
Yeah, it is. It's a little bit tense because people are in the streets and this and that. But again, as I said, we're not a popular country, so we don't get the coverage in the media that Ukraine gets or another country. But hey, it is what it is. We're used to that. When George Floyd had his thing, Iranian people in Iran, they showed solidarity. They showed solidarity for Ukrainians. They always show solidarity for things that happen around the world. But when it comes to us, same is not returned, sadly.
Well, look, all humanity matters, right? And there's wars going on everywhere, and there's a lot of different things. And I don't blame any one set of people. It's all about the governments. Let's be honest.
Yes,
right?
yes. Sadly,
and a lot of governments do not have people's best interests at heart. They have their own sets of people's interests at heart. So, it is what it is, man. But big up to all you Iranians out there, and I hope you guys, I hope it all sorts out. Women deserve just as much rights as men. I love Islam. I love people within Islam. I've always had great experiences from people from an Islamic background, but some things are a little bit, misunderstood or misinterpreted. And from what I've read with Islam, women are do not. It's a choice whether to wear a hijab or not. You don't have to, but in some countries they make it like you have to, and that's where it's about interpretation. So we'll leave it at that. But look, equality for all, says Nick Xcore 74. Thank you, bro, and big up to all of you. Doesn't matter what color, what creed, what religious background you come from. We're all one people, and we're just all pawns in this. That's all you need to know. But look, coming back to it, internationals. Let's hope all our players come back fit. We need Partey back. Thankfully, we don't have that many going out. I mean, Saliba's gone, Partey's gone, but we don't. Hopefully everyone who comes back ready and fit, and hopefully Kane gets injured. That'll be nice. He always scores against us, even though I don't rate him as much.
He does.
Do you know what I mean? So let's hope. But look, guys, keep your notifications on. Look out for shows coming up. Now Shaheen's back. We're looking to do a lot more. We're going to be doing a North London Derby one next week. There'll be 2 shows. I know people, Shaheen, I'm going to ask this question because people have been asking me non-stop. Live reaction shows after games. We stopped doing them, but it seems like people...
You know what? I'm going to give a very honest answer to this, right? You guys don't know me on a personal level. Lev and Tom and Mo, they do. I sleep really early. like sometimes 9:30, 10. I'm in my bed sleeping. So sadly, some of the games Arsenal playing this season, they either late kickoff or it kind of collides with my sleeping beauty time. But we'll try to do it as much as we can.
Why'd you say
I
like an
don't want to
American?
commit.
Beauty, sleeping beauty.
I don't want to commit to say, oh, we do it every week. Yeah. But
We've got to
we'll try
commit
to
to
do them as
something
much
for the
as we can.
guys though, because they need to. What about if we say daytime games? We do them or
we
try
could
to do them, because the late night ones are the worst
The
ones.
problem, you see, the other problem is, me and Lev, we don't do this channel on a full-time basis. This is not our job. This is not our livelihood. This is a hobby. Us doing this with you guys, and it's a hobby. So sometimes we also got things to do that we can't commit to doing every game, every show, this, that, the other. So we try to do it as much as we can.
Okay, well, keep an eye out for those as well. If you need anything, like if you want us to cover anything, put it in the comments. Let us know if there's anything specific you want us to cover. If Seb is listening to this, Seb, your articles go out on a Friday, and I will get it out after this show. So be patient, bro, and we appreciate all your work. And that's it. We've covered what we can. We'll keep an eye out for the next few days, see what other news there is. And if we think there's anything worth discussing, we will do another show. All right. And let us know if you want us to cover anything else. So that is about it. This has been a return of the Middle Eastern, sort of the brown version of Antodek. We're back. So keep an eye out for some more shows, yeah? On that play. Wait, how'd you say see you later in Iranian, Shahin? For you, all the
It's
Iranian.
too much, man.
Come
I'm
on,
already
man.
late, Lev, man.
All right.
We'll
See you
do
later
another
then.
show.
All right, bro. Later. Bye.